Alright, what's up girls and boys? What's up internet? I am Bianca and welcome to yet another episode of our The Legend of Legacy HD Remastered Let's Play Walkthrough Guide, whatever you want to call it. Now, before we begin with today's main course, this is something I actually forgot to do in the previous video. We need to talk to the King of Adventures. You're back. Do you have something to report? Yes, we have the seaside ruins to report. More ruins hidden in the sea. Odd, building a temple to worship fire elementals right next to the water. Why would there be such a high concentration of fire elementals, I wonder? So yeah, we talked to him to get more money that we need because this is something you should probably really start doing. You should start hiring the galleons, hiring them for okay, I'm just gonna check some things, hiring them to be able to get one accessory in particular that you would really need to buy. It's the alabaster stone, which prevents your party member who is equipping that, prevents them from getting poisoned. And you need that particular accessory for a dungeon that we will be unlocking in a couple of episodes. So yeah, it's best to be prepared, especially since each galleon trip it takes 5 hours when you play the game for the first time. And again, the number of hours it takes for the ships to come back, they decrease depending on how many times you have completed the game. Anyways, we are heading to where are we going again? We're gonna head to the deserted village first. Now that we have all of the cores, or we have revived 3 of the places where those cores are needed, we can now head to the deserted village. Yeah, there's a lot of things you should really start preparing for at this point.
Cape northeast of town. Its mild breeze and ocean view made it a favorite of travelers. Doubtless, whoever once lived here chose it for its tranquility. And they in turn tended to the land and kept it safe.
So yeah, the deserted village, it used to be a fishing town, and it's quite obvious right here at the beginning that you can interact with Coco's pedestal here to get an item. Yeah, you can actually farm the items from these pedestals. All you have to do is go out, or get out of the map and then go back in. I hear music from up ahead. So examine this. A lot of elementals gather here even today to get a giant egg that you can sell. So yeah, it's not obvious, but there's a path down here. There are some points in the map that you can interact with. How many years have passed since these huts were once occupied? Men, women, and children all once called this place home. Their dreams now drift in the sea of time. So it's not really obvious. This place was once a remote fishing village. Its remains lie bare across the sand, weathered by the winds and tide. So it's not obvious that there's a path, but there is. So yeah, there are 3 points of interest here you can interact with. These 2 rocks will give you, again, shards. Our queen doth sing, the elementals she doth bless, and those in turn born on land shall by elementals soon progress. Okay, there we go. Whispering Shard Purify. Again, another shard that you would want to learn in preparation for one of the most difficult bosses in this game. I sing for the one who shall inherit the song of the king. I forgive thy fate for the waking curse that thou shalt bring. I wonder if they're talking about mayors. Because let's be honest, I feel like Mayors really is the main character of this game. The Whispering Shard, Healing Hands. We now have 2 of them. Then when you're ready, interact with this. Now nothing will happen if you haven't completed haven't beaten the water, fire, and the wind golem, but considering we have beaten them, a cutscene will trigger now when we interact with this tree. It looks like a tree. Okay, this big piece of rock thing. Is the singing coming from this pile of stones? I don't think so. Where's it coming from then? The singing shard is pulsing. This shard is singing. All three shards are pulsing. What does this mean? Yeah. So yeah, once you interact with this, the boiling sea will disappear from the map. So you have to make sure that you've gotten everything you want to get from that area before you head to this location. Also, we're gonna get like a couple of maps for this playthrough. We're gonna unlock, or this episode rather, we're gonna unlock a couple of locations. Hopefully it wouldn't take us that long to complete this one that we are doing, this location that we're going to be doing right now. So yeah, the water disappeared. So now we see the entire Avalon continent. Is that how you pronounce it? Is that the sound that she made? What in the world? So that is the place where we'll be heading to next. The Great CRAG is what the place is called. A whole continent just came out of the sea. Avalon's true form? Because if you...
Legend tells of the day Avalon sank beneath...
If you guys remember, this was actually mentioned in one of the statues that we interacted with before. Or they hinted it at the very least.
With a tremor, and a thunder, and a resounding crash. Just as before, when the sea had consumed the land. Now land consumed sea, and Avalon was forever changed.
So yeah, now we're back in Initium. And this is going to be a cutscene with the king. And he will admit to us a couple of things. Welcome back, adventure seekers. Receive 1,000, which is nice. I've been wanting to ask, are you connected to that giant quake earlier? Yes, we were. We were exploring the cape to the north of town. Ah, another miracle. This is splendid news. Miracle, he says. Huh, another miracle? Indeed, that was not the first miracle to occur at the Northern Cape. Please go on. What do you mean? Spill it. Well, I guess it's time for me to explain about the past. You see, a nearly identical miracle took place right there. That was 10 years ago. Why? I wonder why he keeps calling it a miracle. I think its translation... It's not supposed to really be like literal miracle. I left my homeland and set sail on Northern Sea with some men. We ran low on resources and went ashore to a tiny island to resupply. I sensed it. This was the homeland of my ancestors, the elementalists. There wasn't much on the island, just some stones piled around. As I approached, I heard singing. It was a song I recognized. My mother used to sing that to me as a lullaby each night. And so I knelt down and prayed. And then the miracle. There was a pillar of light, a blast of energy. The heavens parted wide and then the whole island surfaced. Right around me, around my men, around our ship. As the rumbling subsided, that's when I realized this was the Isle of the Gods. I had just raised Avalon. It was me a whole decade ago. Ago, I raised the island from the sea. But it's not a complete island. It's not the complete island of Avalon, or the continent of Avalon, because it looks like a continent. I became a new man. I no longer cared about my exile from home. I let go of earthly melodrama. I had just seen firsthand that the legends of my ancestors were not just stories after all. From then on, uncovering the truth about Avalon and its mysteries was all that mattered in my life. I founded Initium and sent for the boldest of the bold to scour this brave new world. Search your hearts, for you believe the legends too. Like, he doesn't even care if he is messing with things he shouldn't be messing with. So you're the one who raised the island initially, huh? And you used the same pile of stones that we did. I can't explain the mystery behind the energies contained at that cape to the north, but I suspect the answer involves the ruins scattered across the island. They all have something in common with each other. They all have something that is being protected, and also, you know, something that is sealed. They have something like a seal in them. The elementals, maybe. As well as the singing shards. Very astute. And since these relics unlock charms, I suspect the origin of such skills was created by mortal hands. That's absurd. Someone created all of these charm skills? I have a name for them. It's an old name I came across long ago. The God People. For lack of a better name, or a better term. The God People. Long ago, Avalon was a giant continent, not some tiny isle, and you restored it. This was not chance. Purpose and direction guided you all toward the truth. And now we should be able to find the God People, if you are up to the task. All of these mysteries seem connected to the elementals and to my kin. Therefore, my answer is yes. I will uncover the truth. I felt something from that song, something nostalgic. If the God People are connected, then I'm not leaving now. I will also come. I think this is my first clue to tracking down the blasphemers. The law of the church must be carried out. This is good news. I expected nothing less from you all. I knew I saw something special in you. Not just because you were the first adventurers who actually managed to make progress in searching through Avalon. Nope, that has nothing to do with it. I long for the day when we've at last shed light on all of Avalon's mysteries. Now, off with you! Shing! Discover what secrets this island is hiding. So yeah, with that, we've unlocked another achievement, which is to the New World. Witness the appearance of the continent of Avalon. So yeah, with that, we have to go back to a couple of places to unlock new locations. So first off, let's go back to the deserted village. We have to go back. The Elementalist, my kin. This was our birthplace. Interact with this again to get a free item. Did you cause the earthquake earlier? You've released Amelius from his seal. There is no turning back now. So yeah. At this point in my own playthrough, I realized, yeah, I don't think we did the right thing here. So yeah, it's the same. Just head here. Interact with this again. From far afield across the shores of distant time, it ebbs and flows, the chorus of the God People. There. Interact there. To the edge of the cliff. The tide has relinquished its rule, giving way to rock and tree and stone. This is the proper order. You will unlock the Great CRAG location. That's where we're gonna go in this episode. But yeah, it's a bit confusing since you may not like think about interacting with that because they don't really show you that you can. Okay, and then after unlocking the Great Crag, let's unlock one more place. Though we're not gonna visit this just yet. Go back to Seaside Ruins, and you will notice that the water surrounding the Seaside Ruins is also gone. Okay, so head here. A vast desert stretches north. Shifting Sands. So, Shifting Sands, okay. Shifting Sands is an optional place that you can visit. And it's a very confusing place, so we're gonna leave that for later. And also because it's a good place to level up, but it's not a great place to like just visit out of a whim, or in a whim, right? So for now, let's head to the Great Crag because this place has a lot of like different other places you can unlock and visit, but it's all part of the crag.
Vast central plateau. At its periphery stood the great mesas of Avalon. Once lost beneath the waves, they now towered over all else.
It doesn't look inviting at all. Like, if I'm there and I see that structure over by the distance, surrounded by lightning and ominous clouds, I think that would immediately tell me that this place spells danger. There's something there that we shouldn't mess with, right?
The most ancient of features on Avalon's landscape. At the center of this rocky host was one exceptionally tall peak, known only by its cryptic name, the Summit of the Gods.
So yeah, to get to that actual Summit of the Gods, there's like a ton of things that we need to do first and prepare with. But, you know, baby steps, one step at a time. A whole new continent. The power of the elementals can never be underestimated. So, things about this place. There are certain spirit perches that you have to activate in order to change the layout of the land, in order to pass through some places or get to some other places. Another thing is these trees, this tree like right here, some of them shake, and like the trees in the hidden ruins and the forest places that we've visited, and also the skulls, enemies will ambush and jump out to attack you if you get too close to the trees that have the hive thing that shake. They can house dangerous enemies depending on what your stats are. Yeah, depending on what your stats are. So right now, I feel like we're still below what I would like. But yeah, those enemies that jump out from these trees are a good place to level up your HP, your guard, your support, your attack, your SP. It's a good place for that. If you're attempting to level up or unlock skills, going to at this point, going to the burrows is still the best option for that, because we haven't unlocked the next place where you can fight a much better opponent for a much better but also equally dangerous opponent for unlocking and awakening skills. Also another thing, as you guys will see, let's continue on. But yeah, there's Coco here. The land of pale blue energy, it makes my fur stand on end. Beast Husk. Another thing is that, again, this place is separated into different... We got ambushed. So yeah, another thing is that this place has the main Great Crag area, which is this place. It houses several other exits that you can try going out of and will unlock another exit. well, not really exits, more like new areas, sub-areas for the Mesa. So this is one of the exits, but we're not... You know what? Let's exit and just come back. The road goes up to the mountain. So this will unlock a new area. This area can be climbed safely. You unlock the Southern Mesa. So just go back to the CRAG. We're not gonna go and access tabletop mountains just yet. There's still plenty to do here. So after that, go up here. So yeah, I think that this is also like the best time to interact with this spirit perch. The warmth wards away foes, so that makes things a bit easier for you. It doesn't like eliminate all the enemies, but it does make traversing the area manageable. The flame has warded the shadows. So yeah, do you guys see this? That's a shaking tree. So yeah, basically that's how ambushes worked with the trees. But yeah, I ended up getting knocked out. So I think we should go back into the forest ruins because it's the quickest way to... Provided there's no shadow. There's no shadow realm. This is the quickest way to heal your characters back up. The Great Crag is actually just a short area or small area, but it does house like some really tough enemies if you're not being careful. Also, the cactus with the purple/pink leaves that spew smoke like that also slows down your character, so you have to be careful with that. There's a spirit perch up here. The thing with the ambushes, so that will freeze that. It will give us access to another area. The thing about ambushes, the ambushes from the nest, is that not only do they have like a strong enemy, a particular strong enemy, but they also, this will enable us to teleport there. But there are also like a lot of enemies. And the enemy that spawns, I forgot the name, but the enemy that spawns, it has the ability to poison you, which is never good. But it is a great place to... So yeah, Coco's back. The land of play, blah, 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 blah. Shiny Pebble to sell. It's a tough battle, but it's good for leveling up stuff. So yeah, I'm trying not to fight too much here, but I'm gonna go back here after this recording, and you know, I'm just doing this to speed up the recording, but I'm gonna go back and train around in this area after this episode. So yeah, this area also houses like some of... Yeah, it houses some of the more annoying enemies, because in this area you will get to see... So there's another singing... So yeah, whispering shard rather, right here. And the queen who was did fall to the land they lay below, and sang her there among us all a song of heartful woe. Yet the king who is did reign, even as engorged by the sea, and sang he there among them all the promised prophecy. So yeah, that's the promised prophecy are the ones that we keep hearing from the singing shards. Whispering shard bluster. So now we're beginning to get like an idea of what actually happened, right? Just making sure that we have all the map. But yeah, this place houses some of the most annoying enemies, or the beginning of the annoying enemies in the game, because most of them they have now the ability to call forth the elements, and that in turn Okay, let's go up here. It's a path. I wonder where it leads. So let's exit. Ahead lies what appears to be a forest, yet those are not trees. New map, Ship Graveyard. So yep, new destination right there, but we're going back to the CRAG. But yeah, as I was saying, the enemies here are now the start of the annoying enemies, the appearance of the annoying enemies, so you best get used to them because they can manipulate the contracts, right? Some of them, we finished mapping the place, some of them, or most of them at this point, can now call a contract to their side. Okay, so a mountain road where let's see what lies ahead. Discovered another exit. This area can be climbed safely, so we got the Western Mesa. Now, for the other two areas, you know what? Let's go back to the forest ruins. For the other two locations from the Great CRAG, you actually need to go to the tabletop mountains. So we're unlocking a whole lot of maps or areas and locations for today. So yeah, let's start with the Western Mesa. Also, this tabletop mountains, the nearly identical mesas.
Stood proud. With razor-sharp cliffs so steep, they
almost seemed unnatural.
It was often said they resemble the furniture of titans.
Tabletop mountains. So yeah, this is a different area, but it kind of is tied to the Great CRAG. So we're adding or we're continuing it on in this episode. But yeah, there are eggs again here. So, you know, you can fight. You know what? Let's save. You can fight against the Archwings again. Archwing egg. This is also the place that you would be frequently visiting because, depending on your luck anyways, because it has some, or most rather, yeah, it has most of the stances. The stances that you would need to, you know, make your battles a little bit easier. So we're just moving around the outer parts of this area first, just so we can uncover the map. But yeah, like I think there's around four or five, again, depending on what you have unlocked. But a majority of the stances you can get here. So yeah, we can climb up here. So let's do that. There is another egg up here. Let's try our luck. Another Archwing egg. And then interact with this for the teleporters. There isn't really a shortcut, by the way. To go down, you have to go back the way we came. But it's not so bad because it's just close by. So then we go down... let's go up here first. Thing is poisonous, but we don't really get poisoned. It just makes us run slow again. There's an item, potential item here. But it's an ambush! So yeah, apart from, let's go back to talking about the items that we would really want to get in our playthroughs. We have to go up here. Another one that you would want to have in your arsenal. So yeah, this will enable us to go to yet another part of the mesa. The mesas. Tabletop mountains. Mountains rose up to meet clouds. The land begged audience with the heavens. New map, Eastern Mesa. So yeah, one of the other items, as I was saying, oh my gosh, is the emergency kit because that one provides a greater amount of healing at no expense other than a slot of your equipment. But yeah, alabaster stone and that item, the emergency kit, is something you would really want to have or try to get at this point in the game. We completed the map. Grab the chest for a fox statue that we can sell. And then with that, we will be exiting and heading to another part of the mountains. So yeah, this place again, Great Crag and the Mesas, they're a great place at this point for unlocking stat gains and getting boosts. When you sell the map, there will be an NPC standing here that will serve as a camp. And then up there where the bird is, the bird enemy is, that is where you will get like 2 stances. I forgot which ones, but I noted them on the on our Ultimate Beginner's Guide. So yeah, let's start with the outer areas first. Before we go climbing up. Like, this place is a little bit confusing, but only because it's hard to see where the paths are and where the enemies are, so there is a chance, like a huge chance, that you would end up let's not go there just yet. There's a mini boss there. So yeah, unfortunately we got knocked out. Our mayor's got knocked out, so we got mortal damage from that battle. But yeah, try to uncover the map first. We'll unlock yet another map here. Mountains rose up to meet clouds. The land begged audience with the heavens. New map, Northern Mesa. So that completes all the map for the mesas. So we just need to go up here at the top, if we could, to complete the map, and then head and fight the... There's another egg here, and a sparkle for a potential item, so you can go interact with the egg if you want. I'm gonna save that for when I come back here after my recording so that I can strengthen our character, because they need it. They need to get themselves stronger. So yeah, save. Quick save. We don't know what's gonna happen next. We finished mapping the place. Now this shouldn't be too hard. Fingers crossed. We're not having the best luck. So yeah, first up, what we would like to do is have water contract up. Then let's see. Reckoning is stronger. Then block. Then have set up air contract. It's a good thing that block does no damage right now for Garnet. So then after that, have everyone guard. Just so. Oh, I didn't. Oh, there we go. Fire contract. Then block again. Now we can have... someone use... what do you call this? The water shield? Then we can just go to town with this enemy. Occasionally you would want to like summon the contracts again. Just to make like the effects of the contract, the passive effects, like the healing, the regeneration, and also the shield to last longer. So you would want to like get these numbers up, with the exception of the... what do you call this? With the exception of the shadow element, because that's not something we have control over. So we need to use water contract again. Then let's go and attack. So this is one of those boss battles that I actually didn't manage to like note how much HP it has. So I can't really tell you right now off the bat, but in the recording I will, while I'm editing it, I will make note of how many HP and just flash it on the screen. But yeah, this is how essentially you would want to have the battle going. I just wanted to use that. I just wanted to use that. No reason whatsoever other than me wanting to use that attack. Or that charm. Also, you don't have to worry about like the SP. If you have the wind charm on your side, or the wind elements on your side, if you have the contract on your side, you don't have to worry too much about the SP. Like it will replenish itself from time to time, so long as you just don't, you know, go overboard with it. And also, you don't have to worry about like keeping the SP up after this battle, because we're gonna go out of the map again. That's why we left this for last. So yeah, there we defeated that enemy. Doesn't really give you anything except for the the experience of it. But once you're done, just exit. You can use the quick route, the quick way of exiting, which is triggering a battle and just running away. Or you can do as I did, which was walk. Let's heal first. Walk all the way back to the entrance of the map. So that's two. We already did two of the mesas. The western and I think it was the northern one. Go back, the tabletop mountains. Oh, southern and western one. So now we go to the eastern mesa. Okay. So here, the person who will teach you the stance can be found when you finally sold. So yeah, when you finally sell the completed maps, they will appear here in this area here. You know what? Let's save. Let's try getting Archwing Egg right there. It's in that area. So yeah, be careful when you're trying to get the stances if you're not into fighting the battles. Because you will end up accidentally triggering a battle if you're not careful. So yeah. Just first uncover the map here. Then you will notice there's no path. See, and you'll notice there's no path for us to take. And then there's this pillar right here with an enemy attached to it. Now, what I would like to do, what I like to do is just save before I trigger the battle. Because we need to fight, you need to press X and interact with the enemy, and it will trigger this battle. And again, we're faced with these lance enemies that, you know, if they attack you, they have a chance of stunning you, which is not something that we would want. So yeah, it's better to save. And also intervene. The bug enemies that we have here, they can cause, they have an attack that can cause poison if you're not careful. So yeah, I don't really like prolonging the battles between these enemies because of that reason. Because of the fact that they can poison you and also they can stun you. Which, again, is not a good combination. You know, for enemies to have. Okay, I think we could go with the trash mob. I probably should have like somebody have a pike or a lance because of that. But yeah, I feel like we're still doing well with the weapons we do have equipped, all things considered. Yeah, so after that battle, the pillar will fall and we'll have ourselves a bridge. Now there is another place where you have to do that again. You have to fight the bug enemies. Okay, save. Oh, we got ourselves an Archwing. Now at this point, Archwing battles shouldn't really pose that much of a threat to you, especially if you took the time to, you know, level up your characters. The only reason, again, why I'm not fighting them is because I'm trying to save time for the recordings. Oh my gosh! But yeah, I'm gonna go back here again and just fight the enemies and, you know, level up once the recording is done. Also, there's like the bird enemies here. the same old bird enemies that we have been fighting against before. There's a lot of them here now. And the mobs... Okay, check this. The mobs, they have like a lot more of those enemies that can, if you're not careful, one-shot you. Which just sucks so much. Because, again, it's pretty random when they'll use it. So you may feel like the battle has been easy, but then they're gonna shock you with that. Also, I left the enemy on the... Another Archwing battle! But yeah, I actually did that on purpose. I left that enemy hanging there for a little while longer because I wanted to complete this part of the map first. So that we don't have to go back and forth. Because this is the way we are going. Okay, save before the battle because you never know what's gonna happen. We never know what's gonna happen. So, yeah, first off, I'm gonna go with Bombard. And then... Fire Contract and Blade Frenzy. There we go. Made quick work of that. Because we don't want to prolong that battle. Because again, they have stun. And you don't want to be caught repeatedly with that. So we completed the map. Then interact with this to get a shard and a poem. And then the queen who was bade that we accept our light shall fade, yet it remaineth our highest mirth to join as one with this earth, a proof of life lived and death paid. So yeah, it's hard to like decipher what the poems are actually talking about, but it's something I will discuss in a later episode. So let's do ourselves a favor and run away quickly so we can visit the final place in the tabletop mountain area. But first, we need to heal. I need to heal. Okay, there we go. Then visit Tabletop Mountains and go to Northern Mesa next. You don't actually have to like follow in the same pattern that I did these areas. It doesn't matter which place you go to first. They're not really that connected. But and I just went through them as they are, you know, displayed in the list. That's basically it. And the only reason why we went here is to unlock... Basically just to unlock the... We need to freeze the water here to be able to cross. But it's basically just to get the ship graveyard area. That's it. Everything else that we're doing right here, it's all optional. If you want to get like a lot of the game... A lot of things, basically. Especially the stances. This is the reason for that. But yeah, ultimately it's just the shards and also the again the map for the ship graveyard. Archwing egg. So yeah, it still, you know, keep in mind that you would also like to still get as much money as you can. So now we've frozen the waters. So there's a sparkle there on the shell. Again, we're just doing this for the map. But yeah, take your time here. Level up your characters, level their skill, get them stronger, because we're gonna need those stat gains really soon. Now we can walk on the water. I'm just ducking out of the enemy's way. Again, to speed things up along. And also to make it easier on myself when I edit the video. Right, head here for the sparkle that we saw earlier. Starb! Now what does Coco have for us? Galliano even built a spirit perch all the way up here. I'd forgotten. Oh my gosh. Bianca and Mears got knocked out by that enemy because I wasn't paying attention. My goodness. So yeah, that's a lesson for you all. Pay attention to the battles because it can swing like whatever which way really fast if you're not careful. But yeah, now we've completed all the maps. So let's go ahead and just run away. And go back to Initium. As always, that's where we always end up right before we end our episode. But yeah, that's the Great Crag and the Tabletop Mountains. So let's just go and... So yeah, now we have the Bogsore Marsh and the Bottomless Pit. Now, of these two, Bogsore Marsh is the only one that you would have to purchase. Like, if you're after the trophy for 100% all the map, that trophy for that one, you only need to buy the Bogsore Marsh map, because the Bottomless Pit, it's something you unlock from visiting one of the exits in Bogsore Marsh. So you can save that 7,000 coins that you have for something else for later playthroughs. But yeah, just buy Bogsore Marsh. But I'm not going to do that just yet because I still plan to like level up everyone. And at this point as well, I might as well say it. The Bogsore Marsh is... You have to go there, but you can choose to go there after you did Tabletop Mountains or after you do the ship graveyard. Ultimately, though, we have to go back to the ship graveyard. Like if you did the ship graveyard first, before Bogsore Marsh, you would still need to go back to the ship graveyard after finishing a majority of the game right before the end game, right? So it's still a good idea. At least for me, what I do is I still go to the ship graveyard first before I go to Bogsore Marsh, only because it makes the battles at Bogsore Marsh a little bit easier, but at the same time, it also makes the battles in the graveyard a lot harder. So at the end of the day, whether you want to do Bogsore Marsh first or the ship graveyard first, it all depends on how well you think your your characters can handle the battles. But for the next episode, what we'll be doing is, I think the ship graveyard first. I might change my mind, but that's the first one. And also because the ship graveyard is the one that has the last remaining, if you haven't gotten them or if you haven't gotten, I think it's pressure, or I think it's a press. One of those two. If you haven't gotten them, you will end up getting what the stances there. The last remaining stances can be found in the ship graveyard. That is the reason, also the reason why I choose to go and complete ship graveyard first. But that's for future episodes. For now, what we want to do here, title foil, interesting. I think I want to get this. What we want to do here is sell all the items that we got. That's just the Bogstar Marsh and the information about the graveyard, the ship graveyard. That's something I just would like to throw out there. Yeah. See, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. So you can sell these now. Be sure not to sell the ship graveyard. You might, don't accidentally press ship graveyard when you're selling these things, because you'll lock yourself out of the stances that you may get from completing the map there. But anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all for joining me and for watching today's episode. So next time, it's either going to be Bogstar Marsh or ship graveyard. I'm still leaning on ship graveyard again because of the stances. But anyways, again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on. Bye bye for now. Thanks for watching. Keep safe, everyone, and see you soon.